Hey y'all, welcome back to Southern and Spicy. What we're cooking up today is chicken and dumplings in a crock. I have a busy day ahead. It is raining outside and I would love to have a bowl of warm chicken and dumplings for dinner, but this is not for me. Tomorrow I have my ladies Bible study group coming over and I'm going to make them some homemade chicken and dumplings, but this is not your normal old-fashioned chicken and dumpling recipe, which is still great. I wanted to try something different. So we're going to do it in a crock pot and we're going to add a few different ingredients, but I think you're going to love it. Hey y'all, thanks for coming back to Southern and Spicy. You're going to be glad that you came to this show today. Can't wait to put this over rice. Classic. I love me some skin. That thing into her little meal. Oh yeah. Okay. Look at that. Slap your mama.
Southern and Spicy!
All right, so this recipe for chicken and dumplings is perfect for the working mom, dad, whoever that just can't stand over the stove and work on those dumplings. So you can just do part of this recipe in the morning before you go to work or run your errands. You can be gone 5 hours, maybe 8 hours, come back and finish it, and you are going to have a delicious meal with these chicken and dumplings. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, I have all the ingredients here. I have chopped up a small onion, and I'm going to place that in the bottom of the crock. Have it spread out a little bit. The recipe calls for 6 boneless chicken thighs, but we like chicken tenderloins, so 6 tenderloins, but because I'm making a little bit larger recipe, I am using 9. So you place the chicken on top of the onion. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to mix our soups. I have a can of cream of chicken soup and a can of cream of celery soup. Gonna mix that well in my bowl. Yeah, this is gonna be so yummy. You're gonna love it. You are going to love this. If you like the low sodium, you can go for that. We are going to add a teaspoon. The recipe, it calls for a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, but because I am making a little bit larger of the recipe, I'm gonna make it 1.5 teaspoons. Mix that in there really well. We are going to just take our mixture here and spread it over our chicken, like so. These little chicken tenderloins are so loved by this yummy mixture, creamy mixture that goes on top. I like celery, and I have a really good recipe for a homemade cream of celery soup. But this is for all of us who have a busy schedule. I've got to go get a mani today and take the dog to the vet. Have a basketball game to go to tonight. Go Ponies! Okay. All right, so I've got my mixture spread out over the chicken. They are covered and coated well. Gonna add a little pepper. I just love my pepper shaker. You know I do. And then we're gonna pour 2 to 4 cups of broth. I am probably gonna just put, I think I'm gonna use 4. Got my broth over there. All right, now we turn our setting to high, cover, let it cook for 5 hours. However, if you're going to be gone to work and you have an 8-hour shift that you do, you might want to put it on low instead of high. 5 hours, I'll be back in 5 hours. We'll add the remaining ingredients and then we're going to do our taster. All right, welcome back. It's been about 4 hours and we're going to do the next step in this recipe, which you can do now, but if you're working, you can wait and do it at the end when we add our dumplings. And by the way, while I was going, look, I got a mani at the Panola College Cosmetology Department. I bet you'll never guess how much. $5. Yeah, you want to go over there. I mean, hey, if it only lasts a week, I can go back every week for this price, right? So they did a really good job though. See? Very good. Okay, so our next step is to add our veggies. And I use fresh frozen. You can use canned veggies, 1 to 2 cans. I'm not sure if I'm going to do all this, but I'm going to add my veggies. I think I will because I actually remember I increased my recipe because I'm feeding quite a bit more. And stirring this in. And now we're going to shred our chicken. It's pretty, wow, look at it. It's pretty tender. Ooh, falling apart. Oh yeah. You know, my husband, he doesn't normally like dumplings. Not that he doesn't like my dumplings. He just doesn't like dumplings. And that's one of the reasons I tried this new recipe to see if he would like them. And he absolutely loved it. His favorite thing in the world is chicken noodle soup. Of all the things I cook, that's what he would prefer. And when he had these dumplings, he said, this is like chicken and dumplings making love to chicken noodle soup. And I think he's right. Okay, almost done here. As you can see, I've got it shredded mostly. And it sort of does look like chicken soup, chicken noodle soup. Now for our dumplings. Okay, I am sorry. I am letting my bangs grow out and they are giving me fits. So if y'all don't mind, okay, pull them out of my face. Woo, that feels better. Okay, so our recipe calls for buttermilk, canned buttermilk biscuits. For a normal recipe, it would be 1. I'm adding 2, but I have a 3rd in case I don't think it's enough for the dumplings. And so we're going to just take those apart. I'm going to roll it out, and then we're going to cut it into 4 strips. Now, if you don't like your dumplings, and we're just going to kind of layer it on top. If you don't like your dumplings long and flat, then you can also just quarter the biscuits like this and just drop them in the broth. And besides, that goes quicker because I don't have to roll out the dough. Drop them in the broth. So, you know what? I think I'm going to just quarter them because we were having a discussion in Bible study last week about how you like your dumplings. Do you like them long and thin and flat, or kind of like doughy balls? And it really depends on where you're from. So we're going to cut ours into quarters. When I make my homemade dumplings and I use my dough recipe or whether I'm using biscuits, I just like to drop them in. All right, so we're just gonna drop these into our broth. I'm gonna cut some more. This is really a lot faster. And you know, two cans of biscuits looks like enough. I don't know. I'm going to lightly push those under. Make sure I stir my veggies. Drop some more in. Putting our last few dumplings in. Just making room. Now, you know, some of you may not be a big dumpling person. I would guess most of you are. Okay, we've got that done. Add a little bit more pepper. Put the lid on it. Still on high. Let it cook for another hour and those dumplings are going to puff up. It's going to be beautiful. I'll see you back in an hour. Just going to peek in on them. See how they look. Ooh. Looking good. Let's give them a little stir. It's only been 30 minutes. Wow. But I can tell they are almost done. I know your mouth is watering right now, because mine is. If Bruce were here, he would be so excited. 30 more minutes. All right, time's up. Let's check it out. Ooh, it's bubbling. Ooh. Don't forget to turn your crock pot off. Oh, wow. I think my dumplings absorbed all the liquid. They look great. I tell you what, dumplings are always better the next day. But you know me, I gotta taste them. So here goes. I'll just take a little bowl because I don't want to eat it all before tomorrow. That's all I need. Not. Ooh. Okay, let me taste the broth mixed in with those soups is amazing. Okay, let me check my dumpling. I love the dumpling part. Wow. Darn. I have to wait till tomorrow. But I think the ladies are going to love it, especially with this rainy weather. Listen. Don't think because you can't make dumplings like your grandma that you can't make them taste as good or even better. Try this. You don't have to tell anybody you made it in a crock pot. Don't. If you made it in your kitchen, if you stirred it, if you mixed it, it's homemade. All right, that's it for today. Easy recipe. Next time, I think I'm going to teach y'all how to make swamp soup. You're gonna love it. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye. Thanks for joining. Just one more dumpling.